Hey guys, this is Captain Fruit reporting for D, and today I'm going to be reviewing none other than issue number 1. It's a one-shot of Mary Jane and Black Cat Beyond. Alright guys, so here we have the issue here. First off, phenomenal cover, as expected. I tell you what, this is a I'm not going to bury the lead here. This is a must-read comic book for any Spider-Man fan, especially fans of Mary Jane or Black Cat. Matter of fact, I enjoyed this issue so much, and can't say I've done this in a long time, that I enjoyed this so much that I told my wife, I said, hey, you got to read this one, because she's a huge Black Cat fan. That's one of her favorite characters as well. She's a big Spider-Man, Mary Jane, Black Cat fan, so this was right up her alley. And I have to tell you, when I heard this issue was going to be made, I was a little fearful. I mean, I really was. I was fearful because the way Marvel's been handling things for quite a while now has been a real dud. But I tell you, this week has been a good week in my opinion for Marvel. And I can't say I've read every book of Marvel, and I can't say I enjoyed every single one a lot, but I will tell you, I can't say I felt as hyped for a Marvel book and had as much enjoyment as I have as from this book, as well as issue 87 of Amazing Spider-Man. Matter of fact, check out my review of Amazing Spider-Man issue 87. It is a must read in my opinion as well, for once again, really well written characters. Well, anyway, I'm talking about another book. Let me talk back about this book here. The writer is Jed MacKay. Bravo, good job. The artist is CF Villa. You know, here's another thing too. The way Marvel is, the art has been really hit and miss. The art on this book was very well done. I really appreciated the art style. Yeah, the cover was amazing, but what do you expect? I mean, this is very common for that artist, right? But the interior art for Marvel has been really misleading. A lot of times we've been getting some really cool covers, and then we open it up and it's been garbage, which, you know, happens in every comic publisher, but it's been really bad for Marvel lately. Anyway, we have great colors too by Eric. And Eric, I'm not going to say your last name. I apologize. I'm just going to butcher it. And the lettering was good. Overall, this whole book was really impressive. I'm not going to get in a whole lot of depth, but I'm going to give you an overview. Anyway, none other than the Black Cat goes to the hospital, turning heads as she would, because, I mean, she's the Black Cat. She's freaking awesome, right? Let's be honest. She's good looking, and just the way she carries herself with confidence, she could own a room. And she does that. And the art style is really holding up. I like the art style in this better than I've seen the art in her own book. I like how she's being drawn here. Absolutely fantastic. Well, anyway, she goes to the hospital. Mary Jane's in there. But Mary Jane's not in there with Peter alone. She's in there with none other than the Red Hood, Parker Robbins. Yeah, he's got a gun on Mary Jane. And pretty much he's sort of figured out that Felicia's been going to the hospital. And so it must be somebody important to her there. And he needs something. He wants his Red Hood cloak back. And so was waiting there for her and pretty much says, hey, I'm going to kill Peter. I got this gun. I'm going to gun him down unless you do this for me. So long story short, she teams up with Mary Jane and they're off to get his cloak back. Now, as I said, I don't want to get into all the details, but what I do want to get here, and I think it's really worth mentioning, the banter, the discussion between Mary Jane and Black Cat is nothing short of amazing. You know, you've got the ex-girlfriend and now the current love interest, right? And you could see the little badgering there, and you get some of that badgering there, absolutely. But what we also get is, besides that badgering, is we get some good, real discussion that you probably could expect from that. Some good back and forth. The artwork just really works perfect with it. I recommend, when you get this book, look at the eyes, look at how they look at each other, look at the faces. That is great art. That's what we're missing in a lot of comic books today. They skip over those things. They look really crappy, like they've been traced or really poorly drawn, whereas here the expressions, the nonverbals and things of this book really sell the characters' feelings. How you can tell there's not really a lot of, well, they seem to be rubbing each other the wrong way. We'll put it that way. But as the story progresses, you start to see more of a closeness between the two, where they both realize how much they both really, truly, genuinely care about Peter, you know, and even farther. And as it goes, and you've probably seen a lot of the panels already on the internet, but it's just absolutely wonderful of how they start, you see them taking jabs at each other, but then as it goes, you really see how they both truly are in it to take care of Peter because of the love of that. And so they've grown to not exactly hate each other anymore. They feel for each other a little bit and have an understanding. And at that end, the real connection there. This was really phenomenal. As much as I'd like to say, man, I'd like to see more stories with these two together, I don't. Now, you might go, wait, how could you possibly say that when you're ranting and raving about this comic book, saying how it's a must-read, but then you turn around and say, we shouldn't do more? And because I think if they did more, they'd ruin it. I mean, right now, this is something that maybe could happen once every couple of years or something. A really heartfelt story of these characters that wouldn't normally be together and how they work together, with some really fantastic fun moments that, probably even a lot of fanboys and fangirls would have, thought about. Like when Peter wakes up in the bed and he wakes up and both Mary Jane and Black Cat are in the bed there. And he's like, okay, it's this dream again. Be gentle, please. And you could just see the look on both of their faces. Black Cat closes, was like, oh gosh. And Mary Jane looks to the side like, oh my goodness, he said. But yet it's so true. I mean, if you're Peter, come on, that's probably what you'd be thinking about. I mean, you have two fantastic, wonderful women, right? And they're both really good, attractive women too. On top of that, both have their strong, powerful characters. They're both amazing in their own way. And that's what's great about this story. Both women are portrayed as amazing in their own way. Neither one gives her, is written out of character to support the other. It's like showing what truly makes each one of these characters special. And I cannot stop saying that enough. This is what we need more of from Marvel. We need more of this. Characters written in character. Marvel needs to realize, I hope this book sells really well. Marvel needs to realize it's not just cramming anybody in a suit and using their name to get sales. People want to read a character. We don't care what their gender is, their color, and things. We want good character, interesting characters with interesting stories. Stop making it all about one sexual orientation, involving everything about that or their gender. Give us a good story. Give us layers of that character. And that's what we see in this book, is layers of Mary Jane. Yes, she's going to have some animosity towards the Black Cat because, the relationship. And then, of course, yes, the Black Cat's going to take jabs and have some animosity towards Mary Jane because she was the ex-girlfriend. But yet, they both, when it comes down to it, care enough about Peter Parker to do what it takes to save him. This is what we want more of. If they could continue writing like this, yeah, go for it. But I fear that they couldn't keep this level, this grade A quality up in this title. So this is a team up I'd like to see very rarely used, but boy, if they wrote it like this every time, it would be a treat. So this is a book I think you should not skip out on. You should definitely read. I'm not sharing a ton of panels here for a reason. It's floating all over the internet, but I want you to read it for yourself. But once again, really pay attention to the artwork here, how they look at each other and things. That adds such a layer. If it was just dialogue, it was good dialogue, but the art was a lot like the usual crappy Marvel art, you wouldn't really get as much out of it. The nonverbals, those things are really selling the emotion and the feelings of this book. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, for the people that help out on our Patreon or Subscribe Star for as little as $1 a month, you get access to additional videos and things that are not out there for everybody. On top of that, we have a special file I put on there, and I update it with new songs and things. So if you're a YouTuber, you get free background music for your songs. You don't have to worry about getting copyright strike. I own all the copyrights to them, and I have it so you can't get hit by that. I used to have it on CD Baby. Took me a moment to think of that, CD Baby, but I took everything off of there because they copyright strike my own music. I got copyright strike for my own music once, so I took everything off of CD Baby. I'm using a different service. Maybe I should do a video sometime about how CD Baby ticks me off. I don't use their services anymore for that reason, because they don't give you control over your own stuff. But anyway, you have no worries about that. You get all that music for free. So thank you again for participating, and thank these people here. Without them, these videos wouldn't be possible. Until next time, keep it frugal.